The people and places are real. So are their stories. What's it like to be alive while most of the world is asleep? The answer can be found out on the streets, behind closed doors, and in places you never imagined existed. He scours the streets at night for news, and his pictures tell the stories of Miami after midnight.
There are hours of opportunity after midnight. There are fewer police officers on the street. The bad guys know that.
Also, they get the trains ready for the next day's ride. After midnight is when mass transit gets an overhaul.
As the trains come in off the yard, we'll store them, take them to the cleaning track, then clean, pre-parted daily, and set up for whatever number of cars that we'll be running.
And he burns a late-night torch, molding hot metal into masterpieces.
I love fire. Fire is hypnotic. It's got its own life to it.
All of these stories and more after midnight. For some, the darkness is all about discovery and the search for answers. Some look for love, some look for truth, and others for a helping hand. One thing is for sure, when night falls on Miami, you never know what you're going to find. There's a full moon over Miami, and at the Design 69 studio, creatures are beginning to stir. Like sculptor Frank Joseph Welde. That's right, he's a welder whose name is Welde, and he savors the night.
When the sun goes down and, you know, after really 9 o'clock at night, I quiet down, and that's when I can really, you know, like work to do my art.
Before he begins to sculpt, Frank starts with a vision.
The bridge that goes to the Holocaust Memorial on Miami Beach. There's 36 stainless steel birds. It just starts coming in my head, and sometimes I can verbalize that. And then I start making it, and I'll start bending the piece of metal, and then I'll stand back and I'll look at it. And all of a sudden, I'll see another angle. I'll see a shadow that I'll say, wow, that would be cool if this piece came out there because you saw this other thing going on as you were making it.
So Frank goes with his gut and lets his creative juices flow.
The process of it, for me, just comes really, really natural. It just kind of flows out.
When after midnight.
On next, fugitives on the run and the officers who bring them into custody on Justice Files. Then go on the inside of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Tonight on the Discovery Channel.
Back at the design studio, sculptor Frank Joseph Welde turns metal into masterpiece using raw materials and his bare hands. Frank feeds off the fire.
I love fire. Fire is hypnotic. It's got its own life to it. And you're almost controlling a part of life in that you make the sparks and you make the fire and you make it do something for you, as well as stimulate you visually. I'm a visual person, and when I see the sparks, no matter whether I'm just down in the dirt welding a column that's going to be hidden behind a wall, or welding a sculpture, I'll look at the fire. I'll look at the sparks.
The fire dances in the night as Frank fuses the metal pieces together. And although he's an accomplished artist, danger is always lurking.
The metal shop is crazy, crazy dangerous. I've been electrocuted. I've been locked on where, fortunately at the time, the person that was working for me had worked with air conditioners, so he's familiar with high voltage 220, and he knew to cut the power. And I remember holding on and not letting go, not doing anything but feeling the electricity go through my body, and couldn't let go. If you do it right, you don't get hurt, but I don't do it right all the time, basically.
Frank adds a few finishing touches, and what started as a pile of metal is now a work of art.